Hey Becca, what are we learning today?
Today, we're going to learn how to convert degrees to radians. We are going to be converting degrees to radians. When you see a unit circle, at this point here, the angle is 0 degrees. But if you go around halfway, you get 180 degrees or pi radians. But how do we go between 180 degrees and pi radians? In order to convert degrees to radians, you take the number of degrees you have and multiply by pi over 180. When converting from degrees to radians, you're going to multiply by this proportion because there are pi radians in 180 degrees. So if you multiply whatever degrees you have by pi over 180, since degrees are on the top and bottom, those units will cancel and your answer will be in radians. Pi over 180 is our conversion factor, and I wrote that at the top of the board for reference in the next few examples. So let's go through converting 72 degrees into radians. All you have to do is multiply by the conversion factor, pi over 180, and with a little reducing, we can divide both the top and bottom by 2 to start. 36 on top, 90 on the bottom. So that's when you divide by 2. We could also divide by 2 again. 18 on top, 45 on the bottom, and both 18 and 45 are both divisible by 9. So the 18 reduces, divided by 9 is 2, and the 45 divided by 9 is 5, and that's irreducible. So our answer is 2 pi over 5 radians. And this is equivalent to 72 degrees. Next, we're going to convert 150 degrees to radians. Multiply by the conversion factor, pi over 180, and we can reduce the 150 and the 180. Both are divisible by 30. 150 divided by 30 is 5, and 180 divided by 30 is 6. So our answer is 5 pi over 6 radians, which is equivalent to 150 degrees. And on the unit circle, 150 degrees is 30 degrees away from 180. So it's about here. This is 150 degrees, and it's also 5 pi over 6 radians. Our next example is 360 degrees. And we want to convert this into radians. Multiply by the conversion factor, pi over 180, and 360 divided by 180 is just 2, so our answer is 2 pi radians. 360 degrees is all the way around the circle, so that's going to be at this point right here, which is also 0 degrees, and 360 degrees for the unit circle. So the radian equivalent of 360 degrees is 2 pi. So 2 pi radians is 1 revolution around the unit circle. We can also convert negative degrees to radians. So let's try negative 23 degrees. Multiply by the conversion factor, pi over 180. Now 23 is a prime number, so there are no common factors between 23 and 180. So our answer is just simply going to be negative 23 pi over 180 radians. And it may be an ugly fraction, but it is irreducible. So that is the correct answer for converting negative 23 degrees into radians. Our last example is going to be a large positive number. We're going to convert 720 degrees into radians. Multiply by pi over 180. And if we reduce this, both 720 and 180 are divisible by 90. So if you divide 720 by 90, you get 8. And 180 divided by 90 is 2. So we're left with 8 divided by 2, which is just 4. Multiply by the pi, and we're left with 4 pi radians. 720 degrees, if we're looking at the unit circle, is 2 revolutions around the circle, because 1 revolution is 360 degrees, and if we multiply that by 2 revolutions is 720 degrees. And if we go around the circle 2 times, we land right back at where we started. 0 degrees, 360 degrees for the first revolution, and 720 degrees for the second revolution. It's the same when we convert to radians. We start at 0 radians. 2 pi radians is 1 revolution, and 2 revolutions, as we calculated, is 4 pi radians. I hope after watching this video that you feel a little bit more confident in converting degrees to radians. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments or send me an email. And make sure you subscribe because we're posting videos every Monday and Thursday. Have a good day!